uh, presenter which would like to present their seminars. Now we would like to invite Dr. Sabdar Bhatti, which is from Pakistan. He is expert and have experience at 30 years in IELTS, TOEFLs, and teaching methodology. He has helped 1,000 of students to overcome their struggle and achieve their desired score. His passion for teaching and dedication to her students' success drive her to continually improve the teaching methodology and provide the best possible support. He is linguistic by profession, teacher, trainer, researcher, and prepare numerous international peer-reviewed research journals, authored for several books. Has surprised extensively, he has conducted and attained a score of ELT workshop and seminar globally. Now we would like to invite Dr. Sabdar.
Thank you very much, sir, for introducing me so nicely. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, sure. We can hear you and we can see you.
Okay. What about my screen? Is it visible to you?
You're audible. We can hear you, sir.
And what about the screen? Is it visible to you, my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to everyone. This is Dr. Muhammad Sabdar Bhatti from the Islamic University of Bahawalpur, Pakistan. First of all, I would like to thank the respected and worthy Vice Chancellor, Rokhan University, and Dr. Irfan as well, for giving me this chance to give a keynote talk at this forum. The topic of my today's talk is research paper writing, and that is a brief sketch of my talk. Dear audience, basically research is composed of two syllables, re and search, which means again to find. Literal meaning is to investigate exhaustively, that is a hunt for the truth and the way to educate ourselves. It is a doable and incremental. It is based on the work of others. It is an organized and systematic way of finding answers to the questions. Basically, questions are central to research. Without a question, research has no purpose. Finding answers in the end is the basically end of all research. So research is like a plant that grows and grows and grows and grows. When it is grown, it throws off seeds of all the types, which in return sprout and create more research projects, and the process goes on and on. Dear all, a research paper is a piece of academic writing that provides analysis, interpretation, and argument based on its in-depth, independent research. Research academic essays, but they are usually longer and more detailed, designed to assess and not only on our writing skills, but also our skills in scholarly research. Writing a research paper requires us to demonstrate a strong knowledge of topic, engage with a variety of sources, and make an original contribution to the debate. Basically, it is an expanded essay that presents our own interpretation or evaluation or argument. When we write an essay, we use everything that we personally know and have thought about the subject. In short, it is a scientific way to express our experimental work in a formal way. These are the components of research paper. Nearly all journals articles are divided into the following major sections. The first one is the abstract, introduction, literature review, methods, results, discussion, and then the references. And these are the types of research paper. Dear all, there are multiple different types of research papers. It is important to know which type of research paper is required by you. The first one is the analytical research paper, argumentative research paper, definition research paper, compare and contrast paper, cause and effect paper, interpretive paper, experimental research paper, and survey research paper. So these are some steps which are involved in the research paper writing. Good research paper writing requires effective planning, drafting, and revision. The writing process looks are different for everyone, but there are 5 basic steps that will help to structure our time when writing any kind of text. The first one is the pre-writing, planning and outlining, and writing a first draft. redrafting and revising, editing and proofreading. First, I would like to move towards the first step. Before you start writing, you need to decide exactly what you will write about and do the necessary research. Narrow down your ideas to a specific argument or question. Clearly define and narrow down your topic. And sometimes you have given a list of the choices. Sometimes you have freedom to choose your own and consider what was covered on the topic. Follow your curiosity. When you are doing a research, once you know your topic, it is time to research for relevant resources and the sources and gather the information you need. This process varies according to your field of study and the scope. It might involve searching for primary and secondary sources, reading the relevant text closely, collecting data using relevant research methods. From a writing perspective, the important thing is to take plenty of notes while you do the research. Keep track of the titles, authors, publication dates, and relevant quotations from your sources. The data you gathered and your initial analysis or interpretation of the questions you are addressing to. The step 2 is planning and outlining. Dear all, especially in research paper writing, it is important to use a logical structure to convey information effectively. It is far better to plan this out in advance than to try to work out your structure once you have already begun writing. Creating an essay outline is a useful way to plan your structure before you start writing. This should help you work out the main ideas you want to focus on and how you will organize them. The outline doesn't have to be final. It is okay if your structure changes throughout the writing process. Useful bullet points or numbering to make your structure can clear at a glance. Even for a short text that won't use heading, it is useful to summarize what you will discuss in each paragraph. My step 3 is writing a first draft. Here all, once you have a clear idea of your structure, it is time to produce a full first draft. This process can be quite non-linear. For example, it is reasonable to begin writing with a main body of the text, saving the introduction for later. Once you have a clearer idea of the text you are introducing. To give structure to your writing, use your outline as a framework. Make sure that each paragraph has a clear central focus that relates to your overall argument. When you move on to a different topic, start a new paragraph. Use appropriate transition words and phrases to show the connections between your ideas. The goal at this stage is to get a draft completed, not to make everything perfect as you go along. Once you have a full draft in front of you, you will have a clearer idea of where improvement is needed. Give yourself a first draft deadline that leaves you a reasonable length of time to revise, edit, and proofread before the final deadline. Turn ideas into arguments, maintain forward momentum, write now, perfect later. Express yourself clearly, be prepared to be flexible, and cite your sources as well. My fourth step is redrafting and revising. Dear all, now it is time to look critically at your first draft and find potential areas for improvement. Redrafting means substantially adding or removing content, while revising involves making changes to structure and reformulating arguments. What is the evaluating the first draft? It can be difficult to look objectively at your own writing. Your perspective might be positively or negatively biased, especially if you try to assess your work shortly after finishing it. It is best to leave your work alone for at least a day or two after completing the first draft. Come back after a break to evaluate it with fresh eyes. You will spot things you won't have otherwise. When evaluating your writing at this stage, you are mainly looking for larger issues such as changes to your arguments or structure. Starting with bigger concerns saves your time. There is no point perfecting the grammar of something you end up cutting out anyway. And right now, you are looking for arguments that are unclear or illogical, areas where information would be better presented in a different order, passages where additional information or explanation is needed, and passages that are irrelevant to your overall argument. So once you have decided where changes are needed, make the big changes first, and as these are likely to have knock-on effects on the rest. Depending on what your text needs, this step might involve making changes to your overall argument, reordering the text, cutting parts of the text, adding new text. You can go back and forth between writing, redrafting, and revising several times until you have a final draft that you are happy with. Think about what changes you can realistically accomplish in the time you have. If you are running low on time, you don't want to leave your text in a messy state halfway through redrafting. So make sure to prioritize the most important changes. And that is my last step, dear all, editing and proofreading. Editing focuses on local concerns like clarity and sentence structure. Proofreading involves reading the text closely to remove typos and ensure stylistic consistency. You can check all your drafts and text in minutes with an AI proofreader. Editing for grammar and clarity. When editing, you want to ensure your text is clear, concise, and grammatically correct. You are looking out for grammatical errors, ambiguous phrasing, and redundancy or repetition. In your initial draft, it is common to end up with a lot of sentences that are poorly formulated. Look critically at where your meaning could be conveyed in a more effective way or in fewer words, and watch out for common sentence structure mistakes like run-on sentences and sentence fragments. To make your sentences run smoothly, you can always use a paraphrasing tool to rewrite them in a clearer way. So evaluating credibility, you have to use the CRAB test. Currency, first one is the currency. Is the information up to date? Relevance, is it relevant to your research? Authority, where is it published and who is the author? Accuracy, where does the information come from? Is evidence provided? Purpose, why was this information published? And thanks for joining me, and any question, please. That's all, sir, from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Dr. Sardar.
You're
From
welcome, sir.
participants, speakers, if you have any questions from Dr. Sardar Bhatti, you can do it. Otherwise, we have a next speakers from Bangladesh. We would like to invite to Dr. MD Hassan Ali. If you have any questions, you can do it. Dr. Sardar is here. Otherwise, we have next speakers from Bangladesh, Dr. MD Hassan Ali. MD Hassan Ali is published